Recording. There we go. So now, yes, I'm still on time. So that's what happens. Okay, I started early, but now I'm recording. So now I'm on time. It's 1:11, and no, nobody knew about this time. I was the only one who knew that I wanted to be live at 1:11. And so guys, I mean, ladies, right? I don't think there are any guys around here, but it's always good to know that we have so many people around us here that are actually appreciating what we're doing. And I feel so blessed and happy to have you all around me. So let me go ahead and start today's conversation. We are definitely not going to be long any of these days that I'm going live here, because what I want is actually for you to understand a little bit of everything that encompasses what I've been doing and what I want to share with you, right? So you already know that we are beginning like tomorrow, the Lenten season. And you also know that I am actually in love with the feminine genius concept, right? Which is something that I have known for long, but I have only taken it to my heart recently, right? And then now that I have taken it to my heart, it's like I have to share this. It's like when you have good news, you don't want to keep that to yourself only, right? So this is the thing about what I keep saying to everyone, all of my students and graduates and mentorees is you can only give that of which you're full of, right? That of which you are abundant in. So once I started like really diving in this concept of the feminine genius, so much became clear about my life, myself, and how that concept can actually free so many more women, right? This is such a simple concept, but still it is something that it seems that people just are not aware of, right? So in our faith, it is very easy to easily, okay, it's very easy to easily think, no, that's too redundant, right? So, but it's very easy to just like understand or think or have the idea that men are dominant in everything they do and feel neglected and feel like, oh, maybe women are second class or anything. So it's something that like in our faith, but also like in society, it has become common knowledge, not because it's true, but just because people don't really stop to think about what the truth is about that. It's like you just accept things and you just move on with them without really considering how much sense that makes to you, to your life, to the things that you live, right? So I'm actually inviting you to question things and find answers in your faith. Find answers in the Bible. Find answers in not only the gospel, but in all of the beauty that we find in church, our church, that is us walking the life of Jesus in our daily tasks, right? Us being Christians, in my case, Catholic, in our day-to-day things, right? So we are not second to men. We're equal. And it is in the Bible that we are not to be servants to man. We are servants to the Lord just as much as men are. And we are their helpers. And when is it, and I know that many of you here, like me, either have your own business or you were thinking of having your own business. And this is when my question comes. When is it that you hire an assistant? When is it that you go and outsource something? it is because you need help. And you don't need help because you know how to do it or you can do it. You need help because you cannot do that alone. You need help because you're not doing that alone. You need help because your task requires gifts, talents, knowledge, skills, tools, whatever you want to call that, you do not really have, or you are not as good at, and it will take you long, or you just like don't want to, so you need help. And this is what happened, and this is how there was men and then there was women. The woman is here to do what man cannot, and that also entitles us to live in a different way. One of the ways that I feel very deeply that women can fulfill their mission and can show their differences is really through their style. And then you think like, oh, but let's see, like style and faith, they don't go together. And this is where your big mistake is. This is when you are just like following the rules without questioning them and without actually learning what it really means, right? Because it is so interesting that for some things, people go and interpret the Bible the way they want. But then for others, they go like, and they just say, okay, this is it, right? It is the way it is. So I'm going to share with you something that happened with me a long time ago, but it was with a person who's very dear to my heart. She used to help me raise my son, take care of my home. She was like my second me at home, right? And well, back then I was not an image consultant. Back then I knew nothing about style. I mean, like I didn't know as a trade. I had good sense, but it was not something that I had studied for. It was not something that I worked in or anything like that. So style back then was just like my way to find beauty in myself, my home, and things like that. Okay. Anyway, she was like, and she still is, of course, a very humble woman and very, very sweet. And she had a very hard life, right? Her upbringing was very tough. And well, she was raised in a faith where it said that women cannot wear makeup, women cannot have their hairs short, like women cannot wear pants, women, like there were so many cans. And then I remember like today that we had this discussion back and forth, like when she was early in the morning in my house and I was getting ready to go to work, and then she would see me like putting makeup on, and she would go like, oh, Lacey, don't do that, you should not. And I was like, but why? And she was always like, oh no, this is not something that a godly woman would do, and so on and so forth. And then I remember that one day I decided to cut my hair short. Like it's shorter now than it was early this week. I mean, early this week. Yeah, today is only Tuesday, but yes, on Sunday it was short. It was longer. And then I had like it very short here in the back, and then like kind of a Chanel cut or something. Anyway, she looked at me and she was so disappointed when she saw that I had like such short hair. And then we started like really digging deep into that. And then I asked her, okay, like, where is it in the Bible that it says that God was a stylist, a hairstylist, or that like he actually said that we cannot this or that? And then my next question was, so like if we cannot wear makeup, if we cannot like have short hair, why is it that men now can wear pants? Because in the past they couldn't. right? So that argument, like, I mean, that discussion, not argument, went on and on for long. And then quite a few years later, when I no longer lived there, and then I'm here, and I went to visit, I think right after my daughter was born. So it must have been around 2015, 16, something like this. She actually came to visit me and meet my daughter, which was super nice of her. And when she looked at, I mean, when I saw her, not when she looked at me, because when I saw her, I was like, I was in awe. I was really in awe. I looked at her and I was like, she had makeup on. Her hair was up to the shoulders. She was wearing pants. I was like, what's up here? What happened? She hugged me. She kissed me. She started crying and she said, Lissy, I have finally learned that the Lord is not in what I look like. The Lord is in my heart. And it is in what I do with my life. It is in what, like, in my actions. And I was like, wow. This to me is like when someone is like literally saved, right? It's not about like going from one faith to another. Like, we're all in Christ together. Being saved to me is about finding truth in the word of the Lord. And she found truth, right? And then since then, even before then, I had always like thought of our personal image as something that it's a very powerful tool, because our image is the one thing we have every day, all day long, forever and ever. There's no way that you put yourself out there without showing yourself. So your image is visible all the time. And when you show your image in a way that it is not who you are, when you show your image in a way that you're not really thoughtful about the process and what you're doing and why you're doing it, you are just like wasting opportunities to literally show the world how wonderful it is to be a daughter of God, how wonderful it is to have the Lord in your heart, in your life. Because God made us perfect, beautiful, just like himself. We were made in his likeness. We were made in the Lord's image. So like, if we, and I'm saying just too many likes here, like I don't like it. Oh, okay, see, too many. If we know that God is perfect and beautiful, and we know we were made in his image, it's like, what are the odds that you would have something bad coming out of a good tree or something good coming out of a bad tree, right? So God is good, God is beautiful, God is perfect. We are his children. What are we? We're beautiful, we're good, we're perfect. This is us, right? So what happens with most women, and that happens like, there are two moments in life actually that it happens very often. One is after marriage, and the other is after having children. We just start neglecting ourselves. We just start like thinking, because this is something women do naturally. We think of others more than we think like about ourselves, right? So it's much easier for us to not do something because we have to do something for someone else than to do something for ourselves. This is us. We're women. We do that all the time. So once we are married, we just tend to devote to our husband, our household, and all of our family needs, which is right. We have to. But you have to love yourself and then your neighbor, right? God never said love your neighbor. I mean, like love yourself like your neighbor. No, he said love thy neighbor like you love yourself. So you have to first love yourself so that you can love other people. Because if you're not full of love, you're not going to be loving. You're not going to be even lovable, right? So it is important for us to understand that when we get married, although we have a totally different life, different demands, needs, requirements, and everything that we have to do to fulfill our marriage life, like being a wife, right? We still have to remember that that man fell in love with a woman who loved herself. And if you want that man to continue to love you, you have to keep on loving yourself. That is one thing. Then when we have children, there are two things. And again, I know I've been there. I know how hard it is for us to remember or even find time for ourselves when you have babies, when you have kids around you, that they need you all the time. It's nursing, it's diapers, it is like washing and cooking and all of that you have to do, because like those little ones depend on you, right? If you're not there, they won't be there. So you are their very first source to grow, to become like bigger human beings and to develop in a very healthy way. So yeah, you have to be there, but it cannot kill the person, the woman in you. So it's natural. It takes a while. We all go and forget about ourselves for a while, but we've got to meet us back again. We've got to meet our style again. We've got to meet that person that our then boyfriend fell in love with, and now is no longer used to seeing, because now you're a mom, and it's like you're like those oversized clothes, sometimes dirty, with like vomit all over, poop. This is not what they signed up for. It's not what they signed up for. We know it. So we have to stop and like start it all over again and go like, okay, now I remember who I was, now I remember who I am, and I'm back on track. I'm back on track. I'm doing that again. I'm doing it right again, right? So in style, we find a fast route to that, because it's very easy that through what we wear, we will reunite with the woman that we are. And that woman will not be exactly the same as she was before. She will be a lot better. She will have improved. She will have learned. She's now a wife, a mom, but she still needs love from you. You are the person that still, like have to fall back in love with you. Because, for instance, if you think of how much you are loved by your spouse, how much you are still like loved by your spouse, and how much God loves you, now it's missing yourself. So one of the fastest ways, hey Rafa, how are you, to fall back in love with yourself is by looking in the mirror and seeing that woman that you used to be. So find that back again, and through your feminine genius, you can do that. You can absolutely do that, right? There are ways that you can purposefully choose. Hey, C, how are you? You can purposefully choose what to wear to show the world what you want to show, and the changes you're making to your life, and how much you have grown as a woman, and how much like it's been different for you since you are no longer single. Now you are married, and then you have kids, and then you fall back in love with yourself. So these are steps that we have to go through. And it is okay that you don't do that as quick as the next one, right? Maybe someone will do that much faster than you. What is important is that you realize it's time for you to step up. It's time for you to go back and reunite with the old self that is still there in a different way, still blessed, still loved, still wanted, still tender, still powerful. All of that you were before, and you just forgot because you were just too busy being a wife. You were just too busy being a mom, right? So find time for yourself. Give yourself 5 extra minutes when you wake up and 5 more before you go to bed. Look at yourself in the mirror and find the beauty that is there because God made you in his image. God made you perfect, good, and beautiful. So like fruit that will never look different from the tree, you could never look different than that because your Father is perfect, good, and beautiful, right? So in this group that I am inviting you to join, we will discuss that over and over again in so many different ways. How your personal style is actually part of your personal development, of your personal growth as a human, as a woman, and in faith. For you to have a healthy family, you have to be healthy from inside out. So it's not about what you eat only, it's also about what you wear and how you feel about yourself, because what you wear helps you feel better or worse. So if you're feeling like, oh, this is it, this is a bad day, I'm down, it's cloudy outside, whatever, find a way to make yourself feel good, make yourself feel happy through what you wear. That's easy. That's super easy. Wear that dress that you have in the back of the closet and that you haven't worn in so long, just because you're saving it for a better day. There is no better day. There is no better day than today. Today is the day for you to feel better. So that better day you're waiting for is here already. It's here already. Okay. So this was my quick note for today. I hope you liked it, and I will be here tomorrow to talk to you again. And it will be Ash Wednesday, so most likely I'll be here maybe at around this time. Yeah, after I go to mass, after I teach, after everything that I have to do in the morning, I'll be here tomorrow, probably around this time, to talk a little bit about Ash Wednesday and how we can grow as women in our community. Okay, so if you want to join our community of like feminine geniuses, just like ask me for the link. I'm gonna have I think the link is already in the bio, but if it's not, I'm gonna put it up there today, and you can join the group and be there with us, growing as feminine genius that we all were made to be. Okay, God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, folks.